And we are live on the day on Thanksgiving Eve, as we will preview all the Thanksgiving games. But first, I want to talk about the Rams, and the Rams' pass-happy offense is probably the best way I can put it. They're very pass-happy. They don't run the ball at all. They run the ball maybe at most 10 times a game, which is problematic when you have a quarterback who started off the year with an elbow injury and has also missed time with concussions. Your team can't move the ball. You just lost your best wide receiver to an injury. You struggle to be efficient. You don't score a lot of points. You've lost a lot of games because you can't score points. Your defense is the best thing you have about that team, and yet they've struggled on a consistent basis. With all saying that, they have waived running back Darrell Henderson, who was a starter when Cam Akers could not play. I don't understand this move. I understand you have offensive line trouble. I understand Cam Akers hasn't played well. But then why cut Darrell Henderson? There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it unless something happened and he said something. Otherwise, don't understand the reason. Now, as you can see in the title of this video, I talk about Zach Wilson's comments. It really started from Robert Saleh's comments. He was asked if he is sticking with Zach Wilson, to which he just said that I haven't watched the tape yet. He was saying this on Monday. He's like, I haven't watched the tape yet, but when we do, we'll have to make something will have to happen. I'll have to look in the mirror a little bit. And the reporter asked, so you're not committing to Zach Wilson as the starter? And he said, no, I'm not. But I haven't watched the tape yet, so it could be a different decision. Well, that decision has finally come in, and it's Zach Wilson, earlier this morning, was benched for Mike White because this Jets team feels they have the opportunity to not just get on it and play great the rest of the year, they have a chance to make it to the playoffs. And with Zach Wilson's inability to, I guess, freestyle or do the things that he should be trying to do, that they can't seem to do anything, Pop. Like you saw in the New England game in that second half, 4 completions. The whole second half. 4 completions out of 11 attempts. So I get it, not a whole lot of attempts, but 4 completions. A career completion percentage of 55%. That's terrible. And in some spots, it's been worse than that. He's shown some promise as a second-year player out of BYU, but I think what happened was they talked to Zach Wilson, and his comments were they asked the question of, did the offense let the defense down? Well, Zach Wilson gave the old cliche answer of, no, just trying to get through today. I'll have to make some adjustments and we'll see what happens. But no, we didn't let them down. No. I don't understand how to tell you this, Zach. 2 offensive yards in that second half. I understand it was windy. But 2 offensive yards. 2. To me, like, you're a good player. But this isn't BYU anymore. In the NFL, there's a hierarchy for market. It goes Dallas, New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and then a bunch of other teams in the middle. Or California in general sometimes. But what happened was Zach Wilson's answer was getting him destroyed, not just in the media, but on Twitter, on any platform that you could think of. He was getting destroyed from his answers. And I understand he's trying to give the old cliche answer, but come on. This team, defensively, is one of the better teams. They played an unbelievable game against New England. An unbelievable game. You're tied going into this fourth quarter. It's 3-3. You know that you've been playing a great game. Sauce Gardner's been doing his thing. The defensive line's been holding up their end of the park. When is the offense going to do something? Well, according to Robert Saleh, when he made this choice to Mike White, it was proof of, for whatever reason, Zach Wilson's not ready yet. He's played 20 games, and he's not ready yet. There comes a point in time where Zach Wilson's going to have to get it through his head. This isn't BYU anymore. This is New York. And you're going to get faulted to a key. A key to the T and everything. You just are. Because you're going to get faulted completely. Because your team believes they can win now. Because for the last, I don't know, 25 years, there's been some meteor. There's no real success except the 2 years that you made it to the AFC Championship game with Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan. Otherwise, there's nothing. And if you are the New York Jets, you feel this is your time. Your offense has many players in Garrett Wilson, which even Garrett Wilson said, yeah, like, how many yards do we have in the second half? How many things? How much this? How much that? How many yards do we have in the total game? And they like 187, and then he's like, yeah, that's enough. It's not enough. And you can blame this on Zach Wilson. You can blame this on the offensive staff. He doesn't look prepared when New England comes after him. He never looks prepared. He's played him, I think, 3 times, 4 times. He's never looked prepared. Never. And if I'm the Jets, this is the reason why I'm going in this decision. At what point does he not get it? Because you're heading into your 3rd year. Next year's your 3rd year. You faced Bill Belichick twice. At what point, and this was right then for you, that the Patriots haven't played well. They've won games, but they haven't played well. They've won games against lower tier teams, in their opinion. And yet, you guys can't find a way to not turn the ball. And then, on offense in the second game, you can't do anything in the second half. Can't happen. And then your comments go and say, we didn't let defense down. At what point do you blame it? Yeah. And I want to leave it with this. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears play the New York Jets in Week 12. The Bears lost the game against Atlanta that they felt they could have won. And Justin Fields has been hurt. He was playing hurt. He has an injured shoulder. and he was asked about it, and he said, "No, it's not a big deal, it's not this, it's not that." But he went to every defensive player in that locker room and apologized. He apologized. He said, "You guys held up your end of the bargain, and we didn't get it done." And he apologized. That first off, that's a very veteran move to do. That locker room's gonna follow him to the ends of the earth. But also, that's a very wise thing to do because it's not gonna be looked at as that person that didn't do his best. Because they also that went a long way, not just with what he said. He was playing hurt because he knew if he's not out there, they have a problem. So he went out there hurt. That went big with the locker room, not just with the coaches. The coaches obviously are going to say whatever. But that went big with the locker room. That's how impressive this is for the Chicago Bears. They feel that they have the future. And continuously through, even though it's only his second year, continuously through, he's proven, Justin Fields has proven that he's the guy. He's taking a leadership role. He's wise beyond his years. He's taking that step by step, constantly getting better. And that team will follow him to the ends of the earth because he plays hurt. When the offense doesn't play well, he doesn't blame himself fully, but he blames the fact that this offense should be better than what it is. That's what you do as a young player or any player when you have a team like that. That's the expectation. I'm not sure he had to apologize. Probably he didn't have to, but the fact he did it proves that this guy absolutely cares. But then you get to Zach Wilson, who says, and he goes and says, we didn't let the defense down." Yes, he did. 2 yards. 2 yards. You're not hurt. You might be a little hobbled from earlier in the year, but you're not hurt. And yet Justin Fields, who's playing hurt, is getting the full support of his team from going and saying, "Yep, that was me. That was me. That was the offense's fault. You guys held up your end of the bargain. We didn't. I apologize." That goes a long way with that. Not just with young players, but with older players too. Because now that team's gonna follow him wherever they take him. Wherever they go, whether it's the next 2 years and the next 18 years, it doesn't matter. Wherever he goes, they will follow. That's a great thing to have, and that's a veteran and a young player. That's wise beyond your years, and that's what you will want from that kind of a player. Moving on to the NFLPA accuse accuses the NFL for collusion. Collusion, if you haven't watched, I would, if you don't understand law, um, go watch any kind of law show anywheres. You can find it. Collusion is typically where we have a group of people, could be one or two, could be more than that, who decide to not do something together. It's called colluding. Collusion is the same thing. It's the same exact thing. For an example, in Major League Baseball right now, there is a scandal that the MLB is looking into of between the New York Mets and the New York Yankees, in which the Mets have and the owners of the Yankees and the Mets have a mutual understanding of we are not gonna go try and sign Aaron Judge. So that takes another person, a big team that has a lot of money out of the market so the Yankees can have Judge. And somehow, I think it was the president of the Players Association went and said this to the MLB, and now it's gonna launch a full investigation that is happening right now. So, this is the same thing, but the collusion is talking about players not able to get guaranteed contracts. One of the more one of these people who got a guaranteed contract was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got guaranteed contracts. He signed 2 franchise tags, bet on himself twice, and it worked twice. Took a big, massive contract with the Vikings. Guaranteed, first guaranteed contract for a quarterback. And he did it again a couple years ago. If I remember correctly, it was 2 years ago. He signed a 2-year extension, something like that. But he's not the first. He's the first quarterback, not the first player. The Cowboys have done something very similar with their all-pro left tackle, Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith was given a guaranteed contract, and because of his young age, and when he came into the NFL, he was drafted when he was 20 years old. So he's a young kid. And what happened was he got drafted at a young age. They go like 2 years, they said, "This is our guy." They gave him a big contract, guaranteed, that helps a lot of the players out. It's very team friendly, but very guaranteed in total. And as we heard about John Gruden and his contract being guaranteed, I'm talking players though. The NFL, Players Association, wants more guaranteed contracts because right now, the Derek Carr is in a lot of trouble. Derek Carr is on a contract for this year and next year that has no guaranteed money. No guaranteed money. So if he was cut today or next year, they would owe him nothing. They'd owe him nothing. And that's the thing. They owe him nothing. They would owe him nothing because there's no bonus money to it. It's nothing really. So if he's cut next year or even tomorrow, they owe him nothing. They owe him the year and that's it. No bonus at all in that contract for him. So he could be cut, as I said, next year or tomorrow, and it wouldn't matter. So the NFL here is like, well, we're gonna get more suspicious of you colluding. Now, I understand the case that's going on right now between Gruden and the NFL. It's going a lot more of Gruden's way. Because yes, he did something bad, and yes, he said something bad, or he messaged something bad. But what Gruden's trying to say is, I'm not denying that I didn't say that. I'm not denying that. I'm denying the fact that